Hi, my name's Tom. I'm the Dusty Builder. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a beautiful gate. This gate we built out of cedar. Cedar is a wonderful wood to use outside. It's naturally insect resistant, it's naturally rot resistant, and it really holds up well to the weather. I haven't decided if I'm gonna put any finish on it. It'll weather over time and kind of turn a nice moody gray color. So I may finish it, I may not, I haven't decided yet. Okay, enough of the chit chat. Let's get down to building this gate. So here I'm cutting the pieces of cedar for my horizontal and vertical members. And I'm lining up the members here for my half lap joint. That's how I'm going to combine the horizontal and vertical pieces. So I'm cutting away half of the material. So this is a 2x4. It's 1.5 inches thick, and I'm cutting away 3/4 of an inch. And I'm just using a hammer to get out the majority of the wood, and I'm cleaning it up with a chisel. After I clean it up with the chisel, I actually go back through. I didn't show this on video, but I used a belt sander, and I just really quick hit it, and I got rid of any of the high spots, and it cleaned it up really well. Here's what the joint's going to look like. I'm just dry fitting it together to see how it looks. And again, before I glued and screwed everything together, I did knock down any high spots with a sander. Each joint is secured with PL Premium, and then I'm also just tacking it in place in case I have to make any micro adjustments. Once the gate's square and it's how I want it, then I'm going to finish off each joint with 4 screws. Once the frame of the gate is complete, next it's time to install the decorative slats. I'm just using cedar 1x6. I'm using PL Premium, and then I just again tack it in place with my brad nail, and then I finish it off with stainless steel screws. It's important to use stainless steel nails and screws with cedar. Any other material, like even galvanized, will eventually rust, and it'll look terrible. I know what you're thinking. He didn't show how he installed the diagonal brace for the gate. And you're right, I forgot to record it. All I simply did was lay a 2x4 across the gate, marked it, and slid that in place. I just secured it with glue and a screw here and a screw on there. The brace is also held on by each of these slats. These slats have, I think there's 2 screws each holding that brace on as well. So that brace isn't going to go anywhere. It's going to help keep the gate square, and it's going to prevent it from sagging. So another angle of installing these slats, again using PL Premium, tacking them in place. If you don't know what PL Premium is, it's a polyurethane glue, and it is tenacious. It hardens up like cement. And if you get any on your fingers, you have to use mineral spirits quickly. Otherwise, it basically sets up on your fingers and it stains them. So it's a tenacious glue, and it really holds up well outside. I'm just using my level here to draw a straight line. I'll follow this line when installing screws. So the screws will be in a nice straight line. You know, they won't be staggered and look like an amateur did it. It'll look like somebody did it with some thought. You may have noticed by now my 2 little fish on the back of the gate. The way I did that, it was really easy. I just cut out a template of a fish and then just trace it onto the back of the gate and then cut it out with a router. I did test it out a few different times on a scrap piece of wood like I'm doing here. I think that's a good idea before you go and try to make your final cut, on your final workpiece. It's important to note that when we're using the router, we want to take out material in little circles. We don't want to trace the outside. It can bind on any material that's around the bit and then cause the bit to jump. So we just want to go in small circles and take out little bits of material at a time. The way we made our little fish design, we just used a handheld router with a straight bit. So there's no guide on here. You have to do it freehand. And if you notice, the bit is just a little bit past the base plate there. So it's going to cut just a little bit. You don't need much. And you just need a steady hand. If you don't, you just make a bigger fish. Time for hinges. These are heavy duty hinges. I bought these off Amazon. If I can figure out how, I'll provide a link, but I'll definitely have a picture of the hinge that I bought from Amazon if you want to buy them. It's a heavy duty hinge. They're rated for a gate up to 66 pounds, and they're also self-closing, which is very useful by the pool, and actually required by the pool. The gate has to be self-closing. Installing the gate was pretty easy and straightforward. I set the gate in the opening, and I set them on two 2x4s, so the gate would be 3 inches off the base of the deck. And when I centered it and squared it up in the opening, I already had my hinges mounted on the face of the gate. So then once I had the door where I wanted it, I just screwed it onto the deck post. And squaring up the hinges was easy. So obviously I screwed into the face of the fence, but also if you look at the back, there's 2 screws that go into the side of the gate. And so that makes it really easy. As long as you flush that up with the side of the gate there, and then the other hinge too. The hinges are square and they're not going to bind. It's going to close nice. Also, with this gate here, there's this mechanism that there should be a little arrow there, and if you push down and turn it to the right, that increases the closing power of the gate. And if you push down and turn it the other way, it decreases the power. So this is actually where I needed it, right there. So yeah, these hinges were great. It was a fairly straightforward install. This is a great view of the construction of the gate. We have our half lap joint, and we also have the gate slats. So all that wood is exposed, and we're going to build a little cap to protect it. And this is just made out of a 2x4. I just set the saw to cut 1 inch deep, and I just ran several cuts down the length of the 2x4, and then I removed it with the hammer and the chisel. It took a little bit of doing, but I had this done in maybe 5 minutes. Again, it's going to protect the top of the gate. And to secure it, we're going to use PL Premium. We'd actually be fine probably just using PL Premium and leaving it alone, but we installed it with a couple nails as well. We didn't want it to go anywhere. So as you can see, the gate we built today is an entryway into a pool, and because of that, there's a few different safety parameters that we had to meet. If you're also building a gate to a pool, you'll have to check with your local codes to see what your official wants. But specifically, my gate needed to be 48 inches tall off the base of the deck. That's to prevent a child from climbing over the gate. Also, the gate has to open away from the pool, not towards the pool. So the gate opens away, and if we were to let go of the gate, the hinges are self-closing. We also have a safety latch. The mechanism to open the gate is 54 inches tall, again off the base of the deck, and also there's nowhere for a child to gain a foothold to reach up to grab the mechanism. We also have a key to lock our gate. Now our gate's locked, and it's going to prevent access into the pool to prevent accidents. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this video helps somebody out there. Stick around. I do have the picture of the hinges and the latch. Again, I'll try to provide a link to it, but I wouldn't hold my breath. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.